NFL Zone, and this is 4 for 4 Tech, where we discuss 4 brain-expanding topics in only 4 minutes. Actor Daniel Craig reportedly turned down an opportunity to carry an Android phone for a $50 million payday. Looks like Bond can't be bought, huh, Jennifer?
Well, this is for their new movie coming out, Spectre, and yeah, Android wants him to hold an Android phone. The reason why he turned it down, they've gotten more strict with product promotions in general, but also he thinks that Android is considered kind of a lower price brand.
Ooh.
And it is the most used operating system in the world, so I can see why he would think that. And even though there are $6,000 Android phones out there, he thinks James Bond wants something a little more expensive.
It's kind of one in the nose for Samsung, unfortunately, but I'm not surprised this has happened. You know, in the last Bond movie, Skyfall, which I loved, there was this big tie-in with Heineken, which didn't seem quite right to me. Like, it doesn't feel very James Bond. So maybe this is part of that. So, I mean, I don't know. It would be awesome if James Bond pulled out a flip phone and surprised us all.
Yeah, taking it back to the vintage sort of gadgets. And, you know, I think any cell phone, even a iPhone, can you really imagine James Bond sending emoji or texting or anything? That seems a little far-fetched. So
perhaps the new unicorn emoji.
Maybe. I think, you know, it was a smart move to turn down this promotion in this case.
A quadruped robot made in China walks over 83 miles to set a new record. James, how can this long-distance walking robot help mankind?
Stuff for nightmares, really, isn't it?
You know how I feel about robots.
Basically, this is part of a study around electrical efficiency. As you say, it walked more than 83 miles in 54 hours. Could have a lot of uses. We've seen how the military is looking into how robots could be used. So I think this is kind of cool. And if you look at the pictures, it really isn't that scary.
Oh, it's not. It looks a little friendly.
I think what's interesting is that it had to walk that distance in one charge. Yeah. So that, to me, is what the real implications of this, the positive implications are. Because if you can get a technology that can last 54 hours, which I believe this one was, and it's moving the whole time, then that can speak a lot to battery life, and that's what we're going to need in the future to power our technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody should be actually excited about this. You know, I don't think these robots are going to be chasing us down in the street anytime soon, but it's been really hard for scientists to get robots to walk as good as humans. Actually, we take it for granted, you know, anybody who can just walk freely, but for robots, it's a big challenge. It's like maintaining that balance.
Like this is a really great household helper where you could have it fetch things, like a robot butler. Like, go get me my drink. It could work out perfectly for all of us. I could be a fan. Google is planning on having artificial intelligence answer your emails. Is this a disaster waiting to happen, Carl?
I mean, hopefully not. You know, the Google engineers who made this particular program are trying to make life more convenient. So in the same way that on your iPhone, you know, you can get some auto suggestions for responses or words that you're typing and fill those in, that's what they're trying to do, but use sophisticated artificial intelligence to create an actual whole email response. So you don't even have to type anything in the email, which would be kind of amazing. I mean, it's a little scary to think like your email could be answering things that you don't even know about. But so far, the system seems like it's totally under your personal control, and the Google engineers are not looking at what you're doing.
I think that it's very, it's still in its infancy. Right now I can see it being great for my work emails when someone's like, hey, do you want to write this story? And I'll just be like, no, thanks.
With neural networks, it's cool, but we'd all turn into robots. Like, that's the truth. You know, we don't need machines to do more things for us. We need them to do less in this case.
Yeah, I advocate for having the human touch still. And plus, there's things that could go wrong. They said there's one of the glitches. It was saying, I love you. Can you imagine? Yeah. You think you're sending, like, sure, boss, right on that. Instead, you're like, I love you. And then all of a sudden, you don't know why your boss is looking at you weird and wants to call you into his office to have a little chat with HR. A recent survey shows 75% of toddlers have their own mobile device. Jennifer, our smartphones the new upgraded rattles.
Oh, that is a terrible way to put
that. Hey! Hey!
I think that I think it's good that young children, even under the age of 4, are using technology because it is their future and it can be educational. I think that the fact that 75% of kids own their own smartphone is pretty scary. I will say, though, it was a very small group. It was only 300 people.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element of inevitability about this. This is the way things are going. We also don't know whether some of these may have been specific baby tablets. You can buy those things for small kids. What was more worrying to me in this study was I think it was like 29% of parents surveyed sent their kids to bed with a mobile device. Like, I will not be doing that with my daughter. So
that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't have kids yet, but it's definitely something that's on the minds of my wife wife and I, and you want to have that balance between showing them what new technology is in the world and limiting the screen time, because it's important still for brain development to have time away from screens. So I think that's the thing we need to be cautious of going forward.
You want to make sure that your smartphone device isn't babysitting your child, because you see that where parents used to plunk their kids in front of the TV. Don't just give them a smartphone. Engage them. Now, I know we think. Tell us what you think with the hashtag 444tech. Yeah, my niece has like smart tablets and she knows exactly how to work it. She probably can text on mine.